Hey, Nick Peterson here, and again, we're going to talk a little bit about the foundational things that come with being a business owner. And it's not really about business, not yet anyway, not super tactical, but all that I care about personally is getting closer to the things that matter to me. That is how I define success, right? Getting closer to the things that matter to me, not bigger, not more, not impressing other people, but what really matters to me. What do I want to wake up and do every day? And so the biggest reason a lot of our private clients, like we just interviewed Laurel, we interviewed Laurel twice this week actually. Laurel's a great example. Why does she keep, her life keeps getting better and better and better, and she's happier and happier and happier. And that is what we want to design for all of our clients and obviously ourselves. But the key is figuring out what happiness is for you. It's different for everybody, and there's no judgment. No positionality. What your priorities are your priorities. But here's the reality. There's all these exercises that are like, hey, define success, write out your perfect day, all these things that make perfect sense to do. So I'm not going to dive into that, right? What I'm going to dive into is why so few people actually do it and how you need to get over this hump if you actually want to be happy. If you want to get all the things you want in life, you have to define what those things are. But you won't. My bet is that you won't. And here's why. Because when you define success, when you say, look, I need an hour today just to ride my bike. I never want to miss another one of my daughter's softball games. I want to make sure every summer I take my family on vacation. I want 10 hours of white space just to read and think. All these things, whatever matters to you, you won't define it, because when you do define it, when you define what success looks like to you, you have effectively also defined failure, right? So what we do is we hide behind revenue screenshots, Stripe screenshots. We hide behind business size. We hide behind sales, all these deals we made. All this stuff as an excuse as to why we're not getting closer to the things that matter. So we avoid defining what we really want. We avoid saying it out loud. We avoid writing it down, articulating it to the people that matter to us, because every day that we aren't getting closer to these things, we are then a failure, right? Not necessarily true, but that's how we think about it. So we don't define it. We don't have a target. We're just trying to do more or bigger. Like, look how many employees I have. Well, look how big this deal was. Well, look at who my partners are, right? I don't care if you're partners with Elon Musk, if it's getting you further away from the things that actually matter to you, right? So if you don't define those, you start hiding behind a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of vanity metrics. Look how many followers I have. Who cares, really? Look how much money's in the bank. Look how famous I am. Look how great. Look at what all these nice people say about me. Those are all great things. But we have to be sure we're not hiding behind them so that we can pretend that we're successful while we are actually getting further away from the things that matter. So all these exercises, write out your perfect day. What do you want your life to look like? What are your priorities? They're all great. We have a bunch of those. It's in my book, Bumpers, bumpersbook.com. First thing you do is I challenge you to actually write this out. But more importantly is understanding why you don't do it. And catching yourself when, if you're the thing that matters the most to you is being able to spend time with your wife and kids, right? You have to catch yourself when you make a big deal and you celebrate it and you go, look at this $10 million deal. Haha, I'm successful. But if that deal is getting you further away from spending time with your wife and your kids, are you really more successful than you were before the deal? Right? We have to get clear on these things. So that's the challenge. I don't want to talk about why you need to draft out your perfect day and all that stuff that has been beat to death. More importantly is you need to explore why you haven't. And I bet it's because you are afraid of, if I define success, if success to me is rolling out of bed at 9 a.m., going to the beach, spending time with my family, then I am a failure as long as I'm not doing that. So I will hide behind all these vanity metrics. Here's my Stripe screenshot. Boom, I'm successful. That doesn't make you successful at all. it means you got a lot of money in your Stripe account. But how many entrepreneurs are losing their spouses or disconnected from their kids or don't have any free time or they're just miserable all the time? But they keep hiding behind these trappings of success, so they're just not facing reality. So that's how you face reality. Get clear on what actually matters to you and start weighing your decisions against that. Making a $10 million deal tomorrow does not make you successful if it gets you further away from the things that matter to you. Right? So, bumpersbook.com. It's the very first, it's like on page like 5 or something. There's the exercise to do that. You can go through perfect day formulas. There's all this stuff. The challenge is not necessarily to use mine. It's to just do it. Write it down, say it out loud, and start weighing your decisions against those things that actually matter to you, because success is getting closer to the things that matter. It is not having more. It's not bigger. It's not, look how many employees I have. Don't care. I really don't. All I care about is, are you getting closer to the things that matter to you? And if not, what's the point? Right? Bumpersbook.com. If that's helpful, if that resonates, drop a comment. If you have any questions, let me know. And we'll see you next time.